Okay, so I got this, whatever this is, and I'm gonna take this out. I've already tried this, and this just isn't gonna get enough done. So what I'm gonna do, I tried the larger alcohol stove, and it put out so much heat that I had flames coming out here where I didn't want them. So I'm gonna try this one. This is the small one. Just kind of eyeball it center there. And I really need a little bit more alcohol in it. So I'm gonna top it off. I just pour a little bit in the cap at a time because I'm bad about overfilling them. I don't want to overfill it. This little stove here does a good job, and the Arizona TCAM one does a good job. I like the Arizona TCAM one just because it puts out more flame. They both end up lasting somewhere between 32 and 33 minutes, 35 minutes. This one just, because it's not as big around, don't have quite as many holes, I don't think, or actually, I don't know that it has. It might have the same number of holes. I thought I put 16 in each. Let's see if we can get this in cooking. And this thing works really good on the top of a beer can holder for a beer can chicken, It looks like I might need to add a little bit more. It might take off. We'll see what happens here. I'm hoping for the best. And it's trying to start. You see one of them going there. Yeah, it's gonna go, I think. Got my penny ready. Honestly, if you just put enough alcohol in to make it spill down the side and burn up the side, guaranteed to get it going. That's, you're not supposed to have to do that, but it does work. See what we got now. We got starting to get some flames. Can't see them because they're in behind, but they're coming around the side there. Let's see if I can. Oh, there it took off. Once that gets pretty tall flames, I'm going to throw a penny on there. Actually, I think I can do it now. And there's still fuel in the middle, but the penny will keep it from feeding up out of the middle. Let me center that up just a little bit, and you'll see that my tool's on fire. Okay, now that's putting out way too much heat for me to use this right now. My pot seems to seal around this. See, it's got the holes in it. They're not thick enough. I'm thinking I just need to grind these bigger and maybe make more of them. I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna make this bigger and then maybe drill one out here and then cut it like this. But anyway, I need more holes to let the flame out. Let's go ahead and set this down here so you can see what we got going on. Now this is the stove I'm supposed to be using in that. And it just lets flame up the middle. It's got holes around here, but it just don't work. And the flames come out here and you can turn this back forward. It never puts any out here. There's no way to shut it off. The only thing you got with it's a snuffer. The other stove, both of these stoves were found at Goodwill. I got them at Goodwill and they don't look like they've ever been used. I've been using them. Here's the other one. It goes in the other one. Now the flame's getting down to where I'm pretty happy with it now. So let me go. What I'm going to do, I'm going to take this thing. This is a regular Walmart, just your typical camp cup. I'm going to fill it up clear full twice, put it in here, and see if we can boil water in that. See, my cup's almost full. I left it down a little bit because I didn't want to spill. We should be close to a quart there. I'll check here in a minute while that's heating up and give you an idea actually how much water it is. Everybody boils 2 cups of water, and that's great. If you're backpack hiking and you're using mountain house stuff, that's great. But not everybody's doing that. And even if you are, you might want to know what your limitations on this is, how far you can push it. So, let me look at that, make sure that's even on there. I don't have any flames coming out anywhere, and that is actually working pretty good. Better than that big one, at least for now. Got nice flame, it's hitting the bottom of the pot. You got that thing shrouding the heat so it's not all just getting away up around the side like it normally is. I don't know if it's coming up between there very good, but we're going to see. If it boils water fairly quick, we're going to be pretty happy. We're going to call it a success. Okay, now, I've got a quart jar, and I'm going to see how much water, see if we can figure out how much water we just put in there. And we'll do it while you watch so that you can see for yourself. Well, this is just a ball quart. Ball quarts, as far as quart jars go, are a little on the small side. If you get like a Golden Harvest, they hold more than this. But this is it truly quart? I don't know. We're gonna go buy a quart jar. And I've got this nice quart funnel. It's great for canning, so I don't spill the water everywhere. Now I'm gonna fill this up like I did the other, and we'll figure out how much water we're heating up here. We might end up a little bit more in this jar than what, because this is, as you can see, it's very full. All right. And so, well, you can see that's over half a quart. That is, as you can see, that is up to the 600 mark. And let's see how many cups it is. And it's, according to this, it's 1, 2, about 2.5 cups. According to those marks. So, I left this one down a little bit like I did the other one. The one of the, I poured in there, I didn't quite fill it all the way up. You can see it's down a little bit. Now let's see. Okay, so we definitely got more than a quart, because as you can see, I still got a good bit of water in here. It's probably, well, there's over a cup of water in here, or close. Yeah, there's probably a cup and a half of water in here. And just so you can see how much water, I'll just pour it in here so you can get an idea. This is a way bigger cup, but I'll just show you. There's a lot of water in there. That's probably a cup and a half anyway. So, I'll just actually show you how much it is. You see that quart jar is very full. I could go a little fuller, but it's a full quart. Yeah. And I dumped that out so we can see how much I just poured into here out of here. Let's see. And we'll just go by the marks on the side of the jar. They're probably not that accurate, but and we're exactly a cup according to that. And 250 milliliters. Now these ball jars are not real accurate, but it's close. It's over a quarter of that jar, or right at a quarter of it. So what we got in here is probably, I think, a quart's 4 cups. The 4 cup mark's right about where it was. So we've got about 5 cups of water in that pot. So now, I'll leave that back here. And it's heating up. I got some bubbles going. Got some bubbles going there. Now, if you see this other pot stand here, this is for this one. Now, this one came with these things. Here, there's 4 of them. There's only 3 right here, but there's 4 of them. And I guess they're made for, like, maybe grabbing hot dogs. See, they got little, you can see the little, not really barbs. They're not, but they're made like, I don't really know what these are for. Maybe I don't know. I mean, that wouldn't work with cheese and chocolate, unless you're going to stab a strawberry and dip it in chocolate. Maybe that's what it's for. You know what, that might be for melting chocolate and dipping strawberry. I don't really know. My wife thinks it's for, that these were made for heating up cheese or heating up chocolate, and she may be right. I don't know. Tell me what you guys think. Maybe you guys know. Honestly, I'm just guessing. Now, I'll tell you what would work on here. Would work with one of them little gas stove grill. The grill that comes off a house range. Of course, they work on about anything. They're a little hard to find though, and I'm not really looking to go buy any. Maybe go to a recycling place, you know, like the junkyard, the salvage yard, and probably get some off some junk, you know, ranges, and you can get them for almost nothing. All right, let's check out our fire, see what's going on here. And it is flaming good and it's staying there. Now the bigger can, there's a ZT can, that flame was coming up around here, coming up around all these holes and up, and no matter where I put the pot, one of the handles is always there one of them holes, because there's 2 handles and there's 3, yeah, there's 3 holes. So it's just, if you get one right over this area where there's no hole, then the other one's right over dead center of a hole. So I was always worried about burning up my little pot handles. Not so much just going to get them hot, because I can use oven mitts or something, or you know, a pot holder or something, but I don't want to burn them up. That's that older style plastic, and of course all plastic will burn up, melt and all that. This is that real hard brittle stuff that even when it gets old, even if you haven't been using it, when it gets old it goes bad. So see, this one's not hot. This one's got a little hot. So there's some heat coming out these holes. A lot of heat coming out. And we'll see how hot it feels. Okay, that's about as hot as I could stand for bath water. That's about what I would want. My wife might want a little hotter than that. I don't know what it is about women. They like hot bath water. If I knew how to edit these videos, if I was a little better at editing them, I would stop and go and stop and go. But I'm just let it go, and you can just see how long it takes. Now I can tell you, if I use my black cook pot that's made for camping, it's thin, and it's about probably 6 inches across, maybe 5 inches deep. It's just a Walmart camp pot. And I'll show it to you. It's soaking everything. This thing here will heat up water like nobody's business. This thing is, it had a handle. I must have took it off. It's only got one handle like this, and it's got the holes for the other handle. I must have took them off or something. I don't know what I did. Or maybe it didn't come with the wire handle. I don't know. But I guarantee if I set that on there and if it could flow air at least as good as that pot, and it may do that. I don't think it will though. But this one will boil quicker than that one. So I want to get that where I can use it with this pot, because I like to boil lots of water. If you're out and you want to cook and you want to heat up water for one of them Mountain House meals, you heat up enough water, you mix it up, you let it sit a few minutes, you eat it, and then you get done, you're like, you know what, I want another one. We got to heat up more water. This way I've got plenty of water. When it boils, I'll just dip it out with something, make my Mountain House, make my ramen, make whatever I'm eating. And this water, I've still got extra water. I've got 5 cups instead of 1 cup or 2 cups. Now I'm getting a little flame out here now. So it's, I don't know if you can see that, but I'm getting some flame out. Let me turn this off. See, there's flame coming out there. Can't see it very good, can you? Okay, let me do it like this then. Okay. Keep watching, we'll show you. There's flame coming out there. You can't really see it though with the naked eye. I mean, I can see it with the naked eye. I can see it real good, but you can't see it. The camera's not picking up. But what we're getting, not a bunch, but what we're getting is flames coming right there. I mean, I can show you. Here's one way I can show you this, because I know you can't see it. But let me show you this. Okay. There's a flame right there, and well, it's only there right now. It was coming out the other side, but you can see I'm putting this way up here and see how it's burning. And I can see the blue flame, but for some reason, even when I turn the lights out, it's not visible to my camera. And if I pick this up, this pot holder to do it. Pick it up there, let that thing. You got flames. That thing's not burning real even. That might be part of the problem. Some of the jets are putting out tall flames, some of them's putting out shorter ones. That stove very much just not burning real even. I might have to make another one. That other one, that one I made from Arizona tea can, that thing burns even, burns hot, but it's just too much. It's right in there, and it's just too much stove for this setup unless I get some way of letting the the fire out. Now it's got flame. You can see the flames now. You can see them right there, and they're coming out over here too. But it's not doing as bad as that bigger can did. All right, we've probably had that on there for probably 10 or 12 minutes, and it's pretty hot. It's not boiling yet. It's going to boil, but it's going to be right at 20 minutes probably, or a little longer. It'll boil quicker on this with something to space that stove up to it's an inch from here. It'll boil that quicker. It just works good. This just actually works really well. Here's the one I was using right here. This is the top out of an old stove. It's the stevia can. I wasn't happy with it. I set that little stove on top there, and it puts it right there. And I guarantee you, I've got a video on. I mean, it goes to town. You'd think with this thing shrouding it would help, but what it does, it shrouds, but it don't really let the heat hit the center of the pot as well. This at least some hits the center of the pot. And even though this is the kind of block, and it don't block near as much as a lot of other stuff does. I'm gonna try to get so you can see the top of the pot there a little better. I can't get this to stay right where I want it. It's starting to flame around the side a good bit. The other one did it the whole time. It's just now doing it here. I guess as it burns up the fuel and the fuel gets down lower, then I don't know if it vaporizes better and puts out more fire or what. For some reason it's, you can see I got flames, but they're not all that even. Maybe I can scoot this stove back that way just a little bit. Yeah, since most of the flame's up this way anyway. Kind of spread it out a little bit. You can see just a little fire coming out right in there. Alright guys, if you've got any ideas about how I can make these things work, I'm really wanting this one to work. The space on this one for that stove was fantastic. I'm thinking I could take some tie wire and just go around, round, and set the pot on there, and it would center up and it would let the gas out. What do you think? I think that would work. Some kind of wire. Maybe go around it 2 or 3 times, keep them right side by side tight, and it just makes this right here. And then that'll hold this up to where the flame can come up through here and escape, instead of it coming up here and not being able, and have to come out around that thing and up, and all my heat coming out around my pot instead of going up on the bottom of it. And in that way, the spacing here will be pretty good. I wouldn't have to really adjust it any. And this one sets in here pretty good. Once you get it set there, it sets there nice. This thing here is real stable. It's got this thing here. You don't have to have that, but it came with it, and I wanted to use it. I don't know what these are for. If that's supposed to make it look like it's made out of bamboo or what. They're in 4 different parts. I don't know if you're supposed to stick skewers in it or what. Again, if anybody knows what this thing's for, I'm gonna let you look down the pot here, and we'll look at the fire again. It's coming along pretty good. Don't any too quick, but we're boiling 5 cups of water on an alcohol stove, and I borrowed a stand from some kind of a cooking device here. And neither one came with a lid. And boy, I need to find a lid to fit that, and that would help. Now, I've got a pie pan I can use. I just didn't use it this time. I normally throw something over it to kind of help it keep that heat in so it boils quicker. And with some of these stoves, they won't hardly boil unless you cover them up. You need that just to keep that heat in and to get it to that temperature. Back just to see if that's what it means. I think that is what the problem is. It's heating up, it's just heating up real fast. I've got water on the bottom of that. This thing's kind of damaged. I can put a weight on that. Just take this can of carrots here that I used the other day as a spacer. Let's put that on there, and we'll give that a couple minutes, and we'll look to see how it's coming along. I was actually wondering the other day, the old Ford hubcaps, they were aluminum, they'd set about that deep. And the one that went over the front end had a hole in it for the hub to stick out the four-wheel drive, lock in and lock out. And the back one didn't, and on a 3/4 ton, it'd be that deep. On a 1/2 ton, it'd be this deep, but on a 3/4 ton, it'd be that deep because it would cover up the rear hub on a heavy-duty rear end. And them things were great for them things that hold about 2 gallons of oil. They didn't look like it, but you could sit underneath your truck or your vehicle and catch your oil. Now I'm thinking them things would have been, I could have repurposed them into some kind of a stand, because they were made pretty good. I guess they were aluminum. They could have been stainless steel. I don't really know what they were, but I think they were aluminum. But you could have cut big areas out, and there would have been so much material left. And let me see what we got going on here. That's pretty hot. Okay. Well, we're almost 20 minutes. I'm just going to say that I should have covered that up. I'm going to go ahead and stop this video. But if you got any ideas how to make it work better, or if you have any idea of what these are for, put it in the comments for me so I can figure it out.